read, but I didn't bring it with me.
Isn't it in your paper somewhere?
Is it there?
Good.
Good morning. We would like for you to greet your neighbors, and then we get started. I'm excited. It's going to be a good service.
Welcome to our new visitors. We know that you had a lot of congregations to choose from within like 5 miles, so thank you for choosing ours. If you're joining us for the first time today, or you're still feeling kind of newish, please raise your hand and a person will bring you a little something. And if you're online, put your name in the chat and let us know that you're new, and we'll give you a special Cedar Lane welcome. So just put your hand up and we'll bring something to you. You are invited to complete the newcomer form that will be linked in the chat. And you can join me after service in the library to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and about Cedar Lane. Our weekly e-newsletter is a great way to stay updated about all the happenings at Cedar Lane. You can sign up through the link on our website, cedarlane.org, www.cedarlane.org. Our pastoral visitors are an extension of the ministry team, and Lou Mayo is our pastoral visitor today. This is Lou. He's available to support you in person, and if you are online, just type in the chat that you'd like a pastoral visitor. We have a few online as well, and they will direct you what you need to do to be able to speak to them. Please reach out. We are happy to help. Cedar Lane UU Congregation is situated on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank people, part of the Piscataway group of tribes, and on the land in which enslaved African people and their descendants labored and lived without choice or reward. We honor with gratitude the land and the people who have protected it through the generations. We gather in gratitude for all who've gone before, whose love and labor help create and sustain the mission and ministry of this religious community. In this spirit, we gather. In this spirit, we worship. In this spirit, we begin.
Hi, I'm Babs, and I am your worship associate today. I am a non-binary white human with blonde, long hair, and it's in the ponytail right now. I am wearing a plaid, blue and white checkered button down with a white tie, blue jeans, and blue shoes. Um, I, I am so happy to be part of the worship today. As a big Nash comes up to kindle the chalice, please stand in body or in spirit to share the chalice lighting words. Blessed is the fire that burns deep in the soul. It is the fire of covenant, the fire of compassion, the fire of community, the fire of justice. It is the fire of love burning in the human heart, the divine glow in every life.
We have entered the portion of time that is called the announcements. I am Reverend Ali. My pronouns are he, they, or Ali. I am a Black trans man who is short, that has black and gray hair. I'm wearing a purple shirt with a pink and blue bow tie and blue pants with a stole that has that's turquoise and blue with paisley and a yellow chalice on it. And I think I look pretty cool today. We only have 2 announcements. I know, Cedar Lane, that's pretty amazing. Only 2 announcements. Saturday, July 29th from 7 to 9, our Congregational Campfire is happening. at the campfire circle near the playground. So join us for a relaxing get-together around the campfire at Cedar Lane's Outdoor Fire Circle. We'll share songs and snacks, and kids can play on the playground next to the fire circle. So RSVP at tinyurl.com/Cong campfire. It's in the e-news, and you can just click it. And do you want to explore deeper your values and beliefs around the ultimate? Why bad things happen to good people? What you'll do when challenging ethical decisions are at hand? Sign up for This I Believe, Building Your Credo Together with Reverend Abi Janamanchi and Reverend Dr. Kristen Harper, Wednesday, August 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th from 2 to 4 on Zoom. And you can find the sign-up information also in the e-news and on our website. And now we move into a space of naming and sharing our joys and our sorrows of this community and beyond.
Let us center ourselves and enter into this moment, calling upon all the sources of love that are within, among, and around us. We lift up those in our community who are living through significant passages, the small and extraordinary milestones in life. We pause to be present to our spiritual companions and to the concerns of our own hearts. Within our Cedar Lane community, we send healing energy to choir member Liz Peters, who broke her jaw in 2 places after a swing set fell on her July 1st. We wish her a healthy and speedy recovery. We send our love and light to Waz and Shami Mehta as Shami is navigating health issues. Our caring extends beyond Cedar Lane to others whose lives are lost and whose lives are impacted by war, violence, and calamities in our nation and in our world. May these friends of ours, our companions in the world, and all the joys and sorrows we hold in our hearts be held in the embrace and meditation in silence.
As we enter the silence together, you're invited to rise in body and or spirit and speak the names of the loved ones that you're holding in remembrance, or share their names in the chat. You're invited to light candles at the station as you see fit. Olivia Ward. You may be seated. Loving and precious Spirit of life, thank you for this day, for this joining of congregations, cousins together in this association that strives to bring forth a way of being that is covenanted in love and possibility and equity and joy. We lift up all of those who are hurting, all of those that we have lost, all of the troubles on our hearts as we are grounded in this world that is full of inequity. We understand that we too are the problem and we too are the solution. We lift ourselves in the light, seeking our own understanding to help us live into our aspirations, to help us build a new way. To help us live into the love that we so deeply believe in. May it be so. Ashe, amen, and blessed be. Please join me in singing, What Wondrous Love Is This? Please rise in body or in spirit. Hymn number 18.
Today, we shield the plate with UUS for social justice. Today we share the plate for social justice. UUSJ provides a unique vehicle in the nation's capital for engaging in national dialogue, civic actions, and advocacy. Efforts on issues facing our county in real time, consistent with UU values and support of our mission to advocate, educate, and empower to achieve just credible national policies and actions. Today, UUSJ work is more important than ever as we fight to defend our democracy through advocating for fair elections and the preservation of our democracy. You can give by texting CLUUC and the dollar amount you would like to give to 73256, or give online on PayPal, or by mailing a check to the church, or placing your gift in the offering plate. However you choose to give, we are thankful for your generous support. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
We did not come this far to give up now, like days of old behind the freedom plow. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now. I dreamed I saw Velma Hopkins last night. I said you died long ago. Then she said, no, I ain't dead. I came back 'cause I need you to know. She said, I saw Bree Newsom climbing up that flagpole. She took that thing down, that slavery flag will not fly. And as long as folks have courage like that, I will never die. We did not come this far to give up now, like days of old behind the freedom plow. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now. I dreamed I saw Pete Seeger last night. I said you died long ago. Then he said, nah, I ain't dead. I came back 'cause I need you to know. I seen the Puerto Rican people protesting. They held a general strike. They kicked the governor out. And as long as folks have courage like that, I'll be singing in the crowd. And we did not come this far to give up now, like days of old behind the freedom plow. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now. I dreamed I saw Dr. King last night. I said you died long ago. Then he said, nah, I ain't dead.
I came back 'cause I need you to know. I've seen the new Poor People's Campaign, mending what's broken to finish what we began. And as long as folks have courage like that, the world will understand that we did not come this far
to give up now.
like days of old.
Like days of old behind the freedom wall.
I have this faith. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now.
Amen. Amen. We did not come this far to give up now. Hallelujah. We are going to try a thing because why not? So our responsive reading, there's going to be singing involved. Are y'all ready for that? Yes. Yes, you can do it. It's the Litany of Atonement. It was written by Robert Eller Isaacs. And I don't know if you are familiar with him, but he was a phenomenal UU minister who did so many amazing things. And one of the things that he did was he wrote this Litany of Atonement. And so I'll say words, I'll say sentences, and then you'll sing this refrain. So I'll practice, and then Steve will play it and sing it so you know what I'm talking about. Let's see. And the way electronics work is when you move them around like I just did, you lose your place. So hold on a second. I'll get right back to you. Okay, here we go. For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference. And then you say,
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Excellent. And if you wanted to read along and read the music, because I know a lot of you like to do that, it's on page, what is that page? 1037 in the green hymnal, teal hymnal. All right. Okay. So does everybody feel comfortable with that? Or as comfortable as you're going to get? Awesome. Is everybody ready? All right. For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference. We forgive ourselves and each other.
We begin again in love.
Excellent. For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that we have struck out in anger without just cause.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For the selfishness which sets us apart and alone.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit.
We begin ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
for losing sight of our unity,
Forgive ourselves and each other.
for those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Thank you.
Do you need a fourth fret? I'll do fourth fret. Actually, the energy's up. Fifth fret. Fifth fret? Yeah, yeah. Can I count that?
Kilkelly, I heard in 1860, my dear and loving son John. Your good friend, the schoolmaster Pat McNamara, so good as to write these words down. Your brothers have all gone to find work in England. The house is so empty and sad. The crop of potatoes is sorely infected, a third to a half of them bad. And your sister Bridget and Patrick O'Donnell are going to be married in June. Your mother says not to work on the railroad and be sure to come on home soon. Kilkelly, I heard in 1870, dear and loving son John. Hello to your missus and to your 4 children. May they grow healthy and strong. Michael has got in a wee bit of trouble. I suppose he never will learn. Because of the dampness, there's no turf to speak of, and now there's nothing to burn. And Bridget is happy. You named a child for her. You know she's got 6 of her own. You say you found work, but you don't say what kind. When will you be coming home?
Kilkenny, Ireland, 1880, dear Michael and John, my sons. I'm sorry to give you the very sad news that your dear old mother passed on. We buried her down at the church in Kilkelly. Your brothers and Bridget were there. You don't have to worry, she died very quickly. Remember her in your prayers.
And it's so good to hear that Michael's returning with money. He's sure to buy land, for the crop has been poor, and people are selling at any price that they can.
Kilkelly, I heard in 1890, my dear and loving son John. I guess that I must be close on to 80. It's 30 years since you're gone. And because of all of the money you sent me, I'm still living out on my own. Michael has built himself a fine house, and Bridget's daughters are grown.
Thank you for sending your family picture. They're lovely young women and men. You say that you might even come for a visit. What joy to see you again. Philly, I heard in 1892, my dear brother John. I'm sorry that I didn't write sooner to tell you that Father passed on. He was living with Bridget, she says he was cheerful and healthy right down to the end. Oh, you should have seen him playing with the grandchildren of Pat McNamara, your friend. And we buried him alongside of Mother down at the Kilkelly churchyard. He was a strong and feisty old man, considering his life was so hard. And it's funny the way he kept talking about you. He called for you at the end. Oh, why don't you think about coming to visit? We'd all love to see you again.
That was so touching. You all wrote that, right? Peter, you wrote that? So good. It was so touching. I always feel like it is just an extra blessing when you all are here. So thank you for coming. It's just so wonderful and special to have you all here. Thank you. All righty. Okay, so it doesn't like that. All right, y'all. I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to let the sound people work that one out. Just going to be real quiet. It's not about perfection at Cedar Lane, it's about connection. All right. The world is changing. It feels like we're at a point of turning. And we have an opportunity now. We can change the world. We can. Now, currently it feels like the world is spinning on an axis of cruelty. We see it. We can feel it. But we do have an opportunity to change it. We can work together and we can turn the axis toward compassion. It may seem impossible, but it isn't. Alice Walker addresses the need for humans to practice a compassionate turning of the world in her poem, The World Rising. She says, "The world rising can put an end to anything." She goes on to list atrocities that I will leave here to your imagination, which I'm sorry that we can imagine so easily. She says, "Get up, roll over on that part of you that will not welcome, recognize, encourage, or even see our rise, our compassionate role." Now listen closely, because here is where she gives us a directive. We must be done with cruelty, she says, especially to ourselves, to start again beaming like the sun. Alice Walker is right. We must be done with cruelty to ourselves. I have contemplated what that looks like personally and as a faith community to be done with cruelty. Can you imagine how you would be lifted if you were done being cruel to yourself? Done with harming ourselves with shame, done with guilt, done with the fear that we won't measure up, done with the idea that we aren't worthy or not worthy enough, done with the idea that only perfection can save us, done because we know that they only serve to keep us on the axis, the imaginary line on which bodies rotate of cruelty. So, we must be done. We know that these things don't serve us. We must allow them to stop controlling us. And what if we did that? See, we cognitively understand that perfection is unattainable, yet we are constantly in a race to be the most perfect. Do you remember when you decided that perfection was the goal of any pursuit that you took? I do. I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I got the highest grade on my spelling test. It was a 98. I raced home to tell my mom about my top score. I was excited. She looked at the test, and she was smiling too, and said, "Well, yeah, baby. Yeah, it's good. It's real good. Really, it's good. But I wonder how much better you'd feel if you got the last 2 points. 100 beats a 98 any day." She saw it as a lighthearted challenge. I know she did. However, at that moment, I saw it as a failure. I was crushed, and I remember thinking that 100 was better than a 98. I walked past the trash can on the way to my room, and I just threw the paper away. All of a sudden, 98 became a failure. And from that point on, if it wasn't 100, I felt that nagging feeling of regret. If I had only done better, it would be perfect. It took me a long time to forgive my mother for this moment in my life. I held on to it like a hot coal in my stomach, fanning the flame with every failure, never really understanding why. Eventually, I learned that what I was doing was hurting me. I was just hurting me. She didn't even know about it. And I learned that only compassion can remove that hurt and that anger. I had to see it with different eyes. As a person I was now, to understand what happened then. Because parenting, it ain't easy. And as parents and caregivers, we pass down so much that we just don't intend to pass down. Like the pursuit of perfection. It's a siren that calls to us, but will only lead to us being shipwrecked on the dunes of destruction. The pursuit of perfection stunts our individual and our collective growth, leading us to perform as if we are perfect. And this performative perfection plays out across all areas of our lives. It even shows itself in the ways that you do church. Reverend Fred Muir illustrated that Unitarian Universalists often get caught up in a form of exceptionalism and individualism that diminishes our numbers and prevents people from wanting to come into our doors. I believe both individualism and exceptionalism are rooted in perfection. Reverend Muir states the inherent worth and dignity of the individual is not just our first principle as often it is our defining principle, but we frequently overlook another strand of our tradition and our association's principles and purposes, another story about ourselves that can deepen and grow our future. It is not the language of individualism, not of the I church, but of covenant. As free congregations, we promise to one another our mutual trust and support. We cannot do both covenant and individualism. Individuality, yes, of course, but not individualism. Articulating and living our principles as a commitment to covenant takes extra effort, he says. He goes on to say, we may experience Unitarian Universalism as a unique and even saving faith, but it is not the only way. We must stay conscious of how we explain our faith, how we defend it, and how we share our perspective, lest we come across as elitist, insulting, degrading, and even humiliating to others. The I-Church's exceptionalism is a barrier to sharing Unitarian Universalism's good news. And I mean, he ain't wrong. He's not. When I stated that it was pretty clear why we don't want to be people like that, people shouting from the rooftops that we are the only people who get it right, that because we are the people who are on the side of love, that we are the best, that we are the people who accept everyone, that we are the best. And you kind of see that exceptionalism, don't you? It's like we're better than you. And when we start saying we're better than you, we're no different. It's like we're better than you, and so is our coffee. And when you see it like that, he has a point about our individualism. Being a people born of heretics and people who decide that there was another way to be religious, it became to be a norm to follow the path of famous transcendentalists down the path of individualism with the understanding that, as Emerson said, nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of our own mind. That rugged individualism only leads to a space for perfection. Yet perfection is not what we need to be our best selves. Perfection is not what we need to grow. What we need to grow is authenticity. We need to make mistakes. We need to act foolishly. We need to not know the answers. I know, but we really do. We need to not know the answers. We need to know the sting of disappointment, to disappoint others, to be disappointed. We need to know how to rest and then how to find renewal. We need to learn how to covenant, and there is no space in covenant for perfection. We need a theology of covenant. Unitarian Universalist minister Reverend Gretchen Haley states that covenantal theology doesn't just say that we become human through our promises. Covenantal theology understands that we will support each other, that we will honor, that we are autonomous people with varying beliefs, and that we have agreed upon ways of behaving with each other. Covenantal theology tells us that we will break our promises to each other and somehow find ways to reconnect and begin again. Living in covenant is a way that we are living into our UU tradition. So how do we live into this covenantal theology in these times? In these times, in this United States of America, when over 1 million people have died from COVID-19, as natural disasters are battering the states, and over 6 million seniors live below the poverty line, how do we live into covenantal theology as indigenous women are snatched out of the streets, disappearing from their communities in the thousands, as Black and brown people and disabled people are being killed and maimed and discarded by institutions, as immigrant women are being sterilized against their consent, and as immigrant children are being removed from their parents and lost by our own institutions, as LGBTQIA people have their rights stripped, the patchworks of rights that they did have, and their families and their housings and their employment are not being protected, as jobs are lost, as homelessness is rising, and as the number of people going hungry every day is rising in our country. How do we think that anything less than perfection can save us? How can we believe that covenantal theology can renew us at all? Yet, we know that it can. And you're thinking, how do you know that? I know because we've lived it. We've lived it multiple times. How many times have you misspoken and been given the grace of forgiveness? How many times have you made a mistake, been allowed to fix it, not learned from that mistake, and been allowed to fix it again? This is how we begin again in love. We practice this covenantal theology. We practice it in our homes, in our friendships, in our partnerships, in our families. A covenant, as Reverend Haley states, is a vision for how to live in this complicated, beautiful, and broken world. A vision that says we are most human when we bind ourselves in relationship. Not just any relationship, relationships of trust, mutual accountability, and continual return. So I'm challenging you to practice this covenantal theology with yourself and with others in your social justice communities, in your congregations, and in the larger world. I'm asking that you ponder what it means to build a loving world. You know, we love to say we're building a new way, but what does that mean for you? Does that mean I'm asking you to forgive without forethought, or that you accept bad behaviors of others as okay? Heck no. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking that you evaluate what the kindest action is in the moment, and how you can respond covenantally. Kindness does not mean niceness. Can you repeat that with me? Kindness does not mean niceness. Very good. So to be kind, we must consider how the action of speaking or acting will help ourselves or help someone else. I'm asking that you examine how your response promotes the ideals of the world that you seek. I'm not telling you to be unkind or allow people to trample your boundaries. That is breaking the covenant that I hope that you have made with yourself, and to be treated as a person of worth. So don't do that. It is breaking the covenant that you've made to this community to honor the principles that we espouse. Don't do that either. Author and process theologian Octavia Butler states that kindness eases change. Think about that. Kindness eases change. What would it mean if part of your covenant to yourself and to others included this idea that in being kind, we are easing the path of change. What will ease the path of change for you to be who you envision yourself to be? Not the perfected you, not the you that you will be. I'm asking, what will ease the path of change for you to help this turning of the world toward compassion? Compassion for ourselves and each other. Octavia Butler, Alice Walker, and our own covenantal theology have given us a path to get us to that change. Alice Walker has recommended the cauterizing of anything that does not serve us in our goal of building a new day, and Octavia Butler is prescribing to us the salve of kindness. Now, we must look at the wounds that we have left untreated in our pursuit of perfection. We must determine who we have harmed and how we will seek to get back into covenant with them. So whether we broke the covenant or someone else did, we must allow ourselves the discomfort of sharing space with them, and we must allow them the time to choose when they want to have the conversation. You just can't keep pushing up on people, telling them they have to forgive you. That is not covenantal, okay? That discomfort could be the place where kindness has a space to grow. We must allow ourselves to look into the mirror and allow our true selves to be reflected back to us. And that's beautiful. To see your true self is beautiful. And it won't be easy. We may need a trusted person to hold that metaphorical mirror up to our faces and speak the truth to us, to allow us a space of learning and growth. And together, we can do this. Together, we can get to our space of glorious hallelujah. Together, we can lay our burdens down. We can give grace. We can bring forth change. We can begin again in love. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be. Please rise in body or in spirit and sing 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the dark night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us on our way.
Love will guide us. We can do this. We can live into covenant We can look in the mirror. We can choose to build a new way. We are not exceptional. We are individuals, but we do not have to live into individualism. We're better than that. No, I'm just kidding. Go forth knowing that within you, you have all that you need to live into the covenantal theology of your Unitarian Universalism, that you will mess up, that you will make mistakes, that you will hurt and be hurt, and that you can come back into covenant again and again and again. And may it be so.
Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock, honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. Say it again. Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock. Hey, honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. In every way that I can, feed everyone today. Open my heart and lend a hand. Feed everyone today. Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock. Hey, honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. Pray for peace the whole world wide. Feed everyone today. Pray for the end of hurtful pride. Feed everyone today. Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock. Hey, honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. One of these nights round 12 o'clock, feed everyone today. This old world's gonna reel and rock. Feed everyone today. Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock. Hey, honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. Freedom is the song we sing.
Feed everyone today.
Yeah. We shall make the mountains ring. Feed everyone today. Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock. Hey! Honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. Freedom is the song we sing.
Freedom is the song we sing.
Feed everyone.
Feed everyone today.
We shall make the mountains ring.
We shall make the mountains ring.
Feed everyone.
Feed everyone today.
Hey! Well, there's
Honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock.
Hey! Honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone. One more time. Well, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock. Hey! Honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. Yeah. Thank you, Cedar Lane. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Ali. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Peter.